Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft2 Legacy of the Void for your Monday. And it's going to be a ZVP between Elazer and Zest here on Cerulean Fall, the latter edition. Top right-hand corner is the blue Zerg player Elazer, and in the bottom left-hand corner is going to be the red Protoss player Zest. Now, this is from Homestory Cup, the losers bracket, so both of these players lost in the original bracket, the winners bracket, to get knocked down into this one and fight their way back up to the winners bracket when all is said and done. Homestory Cup has a very weird format that way. It's not really standard, but it causes a lot of games, and just because you lose a round in the winners bracket doesn't mean you're dead. You have a chance to get back in. Kind of incredible that way, really. Alright, man, so Zest, very, very terrifying Protoss player from Korea. Elazer is Polish. One of those incredible EU Zerg players we've heard so much about. Cerulean being first and foremost among them, but there's a lot of talent in that pool for sure. Alright, so let's see how Elazer does here against Zest. Elazer is actually somebody I cast as part of Africa World 28 on Saturday. So last Saturday I cast solo, by the way, 2 best-of-5s and a best-of-7 finals. Whew, featuring Bunny, we had Elazer, we had Hero, and then the 4th player was Keen. And it went really well. It was a really good time. My first time solo casting on Africa. I thought it went pretty fantastically. I cast out there with Laughing Games usually, but he had a power outage where he was in the world, so he couldn't even get his computer up and running. He contacted me through Discord, just through his mobile phone, which still had some battery. I'm not sure how he was powering that, to be honest, but let me know what was going on, sent me some assets, and said, let's do this thing, and I did, and it worked out. So, again, Africa, there's going to be a link in the description to Laughing Games channel. I know you guys don't like leaving YouTube, even for Twitch. You don't like leaving YouTube for Twitch, you guys, and you really hate leaving YouTube for Africa. But if you want to watch me cast live StarCraft 2 from people at the peak of StarCraft 2, man, Keen, Bunny, Elazer, Hero, come on, man. These are all top 20 players in the world right now. And I don't usually get to cast that stuff, with the exception of BlizzCon, with the exception of Homestory Cup, with the exception of other... Okay, there are other events that do release their replay packs, but for the most part, GSL doesn't release replay packs. I don't get to cast GSL. I get to cast Africa Worlds, and that's where it is. So me casting the highest level of StarCraft is going to be there. I'm going to stop talking about it now, but seriously, check it out. Zest is going for the Proxy Stargate over here. Meanwhile, he's got an Adept coming in here too. Nothing too suspicious, really. That Overlord's in position to scout, but otherwise, nothing much going on. First Adept is already here. We've got a Queen, we've got Lings. Really not much going on here. For Adept, number 1, going to scout for the presence of a 3rd, and is going to see that thing on its way sub 3 minutes, as Zergs like to do. In this matchup especially, it's just really, really safe. Not much can shut you down that way. But this is going to be an Oracle. And, oh, I have an Oracle name. Pull it up. Pull it up, Falcon. Where's your list? Where is it? Oracle names Dib. The nemesis to Invader Zim, Dib learned that Zim was taken by the government. Believing that this was somehow part of Zim's plot to conquer the world, Dib managed to make a spaceship to fly across the galaxy after Zim. However, Dib's craft was kinda slow, and bad turbulence, and it didn't even have a cup holder. Dib bumped into an Oracle and hijacked that instead. Yoink. Now Dib flies around on his alien craft trying to find Zim, unaware Zim was blown up several months ago, and that Dib is now helping an alien species who is seeking the destruction of mankind. Man alive, are you serious? This is a lot of drone kills here. This early Oracle is doing a ton of work. Adept got some work done here too. Couple drone kills. We saw that earlier. Again, just over here in the WCS Game Hard interface. And then the Oracle sweeps in for additional 5 kills before that Spore pushes up. This is really next level stuff from Zest right now. That is just a few seconds earlier, right, than Elazer's expecting it, and it makes all the difference in the world. So 38 to 34 workers. Zest has the lead right now. He's looking very, very good. Double Oracle going to sneak on in. Where is your Queen? There they are. There. Come on, Queens. Wham, wham, wham. Effectively just obliterating those drones. 5 more go down. 40 to 32 right now. Elazer is killing economically. He is not doing very well at all. He's suffering economically. I should say that. Elazer killing economically sounds like he's doing well, and he's not. He's definitely not here. Oracles putting in work. Dib, man. 5 kills and 5. Look at how them share those kills, too. The new Oracle got actually credit for that. Gonna swing back around. Maybe try to do something, but Queen positioning pretty good here from Elazer. There's the dive in. Bam and bam. And still alive. Man, these oracles are the most successful oracles I've seen that are still alive in a game in a while. Zest is just doing so well here in the early game. He's got a warp prism. He's got stalkers. He's got zealots. He's got a robotics facility, obviously, maybe for immortals. Gateway Templar Archives coming up here too. So 5 minutes for a Stargate and a Templar Archives. And Zest is just looking completely in control in this game right now. He's not looking like in control. He's better than in control is as a player, I'd say. But he is in space control. Creep spread, great for Elazer. He's basically connected all of his bases with this little... The stairs are not connected, which I find a little bit odd. Maybe laying down some tumors here would be good. Spores all over the place, but guess what doesn't help with spores, really? Immortals. Immortals are great. Archons, too. Archons don't care about your spores all that much, except their ride does. Their transportation definitely does here. The Oracle Harass shows up. There is nothing to deal with this. The roaches are on the way, but they're not here yet. Warping in additional stuff at the front. This has just been an absolute cavalcade of harassment from Zest. What? Oh, the heal over time is helping, but the queen is down. Zealots fighting against these roaches. The micro not really there for the first couple of minutes here, but now doing a little bit better. But the Archons just, wow, effectively two-shotting these roaches. Both of them do. Zealots getting cleaned up. Archons putting in work. Spore Crawlers trying to take down that warp prism, but too smart. Too smart to allow that to happen. I guess who's back? Oracle looks like Dib. Looks like it's Dib, you guys. Is Dib going to come in and try to kill some stuff while everyone's distracted by the Archons? Maybe. Maybe, possibly. Third base, going to get attacked. Look at the queens running around. Roaches coming in here, too. The Spore Crawler got moved, and now there's nothing protecting the drones. Oh, man. Most successful Oracle of all time. 10 kills on this thing. That's the most successful Oracle I've seen in probably years in StarCraft2 casting. There's an Overlord dead too. So resources lost here are going to be 2,000 for Elazer and 1,100 for Zest. Pretty efficient stuff thus far, I'd say, from Zest. No question about it. Glial Reconstitution on the way here from Elazer. He is at 58 to 57 workers. He's even on that count, but a third base is up for Zest. Third base running for Elazer. Being on even count bases with a Protoss is bad. Really hasn't had any chance at all to throw down a fourth base. He doesn't feel comfortable doing it. He needs to make Hydras and Roaches to try to deal with further attacks from Zest. That said, Roaches coming into the third base to try to get something done. They do force a cancel on one of the gateways. Another gateway maybe going to get force canceled here too. But Probe pulling back. Adept taking that shot. Oh, the force field. Are they going to almost keeping the Roaches in? That one's going to die. Maybe he escapes though. Nah, he stays behind to die. And look at these Immortals though. Two Immortals. Two Immortals really making it happen and forcing those Roaches away. Roach Hydra coming in from Elazer. I like this. I like this aggression from Elazer a lot right now. He needs to make something happen that way. His army supply is up 76 to 52. That said, it's higher tech for Zest. He's got Immortals. He's got Archons. Is he working on? He's working on further Immortals here. That's tier 3 stuff versus 1.5/2 tier stuff here. Roach is coming back into the third base, and these ones are going to pay for their lives. Pay for it with their lives. These dudes do manage to escape. Hiding on back here. And here comes Elazer. He's got some Ravagers in the mix too. I like that. I like the mix with the Ravager. Roaches taking down... Oh, taking out the guys on gas first. That's a priority target here. I like it, as it does slow down the ability of Zest to get gas, assuming he doesn't remember to replace those guys fast enough. But the Archons shutting down the attack at the front here. Roaches, Ravagers, Hydras attacking and getting right on top of this thing. One of the Immortals is very low, but it is still alive. The Zealots are really helping to buffer right now for the Protoss army. Lings running on top of this. That's exactly what you wanted to help to buffer for you. For your Hydras. Are the Archons going to die? Nope, they get picked up and saved. Immortals back here just doing work. 9 kills, 7 kills on these Immortals. One does go down, and that's your good game. Elazer taps out. He recognizes he's down. He's 3 base to 3 base. His army just got wrecked by Zests. 10 kills and 8 kills on those Immortals is pretty good stuff. Archon with 16. Other Archon. Do you also have... Hang on. You can't also have 16. How do they share... They share their kills, guys. 16 kills each on those dudes. I think that's an Immortal shot exploding a Roach, maybe? A Hydra, possibly? I don't know. That's a weird look. Weird look there. But yeah, Elazer knew he was done. But don't go anywhere. It's a sneaky twofer It's a sneaky 2-4. One more game between Elazer and Zest coming up in just a second. But yeah, man, that early aggression was just insane. 24 workers killed by Zest. 24. Elazer's at similar worker counts, which is fine. He's at 3 bases, which is fine. But Zest is also on 3 bases, and he has better tech. And that's it. That's just going to be all she wrote. Just incredible play by Zest from start to finish. Game 2, we'll see how this works out for Elazer. Can he show better against one of the best Protoss players on Earth? Let's see in just a second. Game 2 is on Fracture, the Ladder Edition. I don't get to cast enough games on this map. It is beautiful. I love the snow. Bottom right-hand corner, currently down 1-0 in the sneaky 2-4 is the Blue Zerg player Elazer. And at the top left is his opponent, the Red Protoss player Zest, who was in full command of Game 1 from start to finish, man. He was just amazing. You Protoss players who are struggling with Zerg, just play like Zest, man. Just harass your face off the first few minutes, tech up to tier 3 units, keep harassing, and then deal with the inevitable counterattack from the Zerg, and you win. That's it. It's a 3-step process. Harass, harass, deal with counterattack. Done. Ready to go. All right, so Elazer is not a cheesy player, man. He's going to go for hatch first, hatch extractor pool, go for a third base around the 3-minute mark, if not sub 3 minutes, and then try to win that way. And you know what? Reading his... Okay, so he wrote something as part of the... God, I want to say it's the Players Tribune, but that's for sports. That's for like ball sports people in the U.S. It is something like that, where it just gives voice to esports players, and they talk about their experiences and whatnot. And he said watching Cerulean win BlizzCon was... he feels like it should have been him. He should have been the first foreigner to win BlizzCon, but instead it was Cerulean. And Elazer really credits that to the fact that he... Elazer in WCS events was working on wonky 2-base play stuff, cheese, attacks where if you didn't win, you just lost, and really getting wins that way, but not winning major tournaments that way. Whereas Cerulean was really working on his macro style starting 2 to 3 years ago, losing games because of it, because it's really, really hard to do. Fully reactive, fully defensive like that, throughout the entire game, reacting to what your opponents are doing, picking off exterior bases on them, starving them out like Cerulean loves to do, and is really good at doing, is incredibly difficult. It's really, really difficult. And it's hard to master, but Cerulean put in the time, he put in the work, and he's there, and Elazer didn't put in the time, didn't put in the work, and now he's not there, and he feels like that was a mistake. So I kind of feel like that's why he's really so dedicated in recent events, recent tournaments, to play macro style, to try to emulate Cerulean, to try to be the second foreigner to win a BlizzCon title, right? Because someone's got to be the second foreigner to win a BlizzCon title. It's not maybe as prestigious as the first one, but it's not bad. It's really not bad either. So where's your third base? There's got to be a third base somewhere. We are at 2.5 minutes already, Elazer. Come on. So Ling's chasing away this probe. We have an Adept coming out. So there we go. First Adept pushing out Stalker follow-up here from Zest. Ling's taking up the north direction, trying to get some harassment down. I really don't know what the purpose of all these Lings are, but there's your third base at 2 minutes, and let's call it, bam, 44 seconds on the nose for Elazer. He's just going to do this. He's going to do this even if it costs him games. He's going to learn how to play like Cerulean does, and he wants to be that guy. So that explains this play style that we're seeing from him. In Africa, too. Africa 28, he did the same thing, nothing but quick 3 hatches, trying to get that macro going, and he was playing against, I want to say it was Bunny. Pretty sure it was Bunny. And he struggled mightily with it, but he stuck to it the whole way through. All right, enough of that. Enough of super meta talk. It is going to be a Twilight Council and a Dark Shrine here from Zest, so probably more of that Archon stuff. Is that a robotics facility? It is. Okay, so more of that Archon stuff here from Zest. It worked really well for him in game number 1, no question about that, and no complaints either. Adept swinging on up. Doesn't get inside. Ah, tried to shade in there. The Stalker has to let her inside now. Where did those Lings go? There were a bunch of Lings running around. I guess they're back home at this point. They were just checking for proxies, I imagine, is what they were doing. Really not trying to get inside this wall, because slow Lings are never breaking this wall. They're just not. Zest would have time to throw up a shield battery, and then you're done, while additional Stalkers keep warping in, and maybe some Adepts for good measure. Yeah, it's just... You're never breaking that with slow Lings. With fast Lings either, to be honest. Banelings, yes. Banelings, possible. But Zest will see that coming and react. Is that our Roach Warren? It is. So good news is we're 5 minutes in, and Elazer has not lost any drones yet. So good for him. Just checking. That is the absolute truth. Warp Prism, I think, got spotted by that Zergling. Are we moving into position to deal with this? Not really. Actually, yes. So here's the Warp in. Zerglings. Dark Templar. Oh, it's just straight DT? Oh, no. Okay, well, third base might just be done. No, there is an Overseer. There is an Overseer, but oh, the Warp Prism Micro moving the DTs. Oh, there's so much damage output. And there it is. Pickup gone. Third base done. How do you like them apples? And once again, Elazer finds himself in a terrible economic position in the first 5 minutes of the game. Zest is just intent on plucking the heart out of Elazer here. The Overseer was a tiny, tiny bit out of position. The DTs came in. Their DPS is insane. And the hatch went down. Now they're Archons. They're getting an Overlord kill there, too. So loss is 625 to 0 right now. You can guess who the 625 is. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Zest is what looks like going for a third base. Yes, he is, while Elazer is taking his third base again. It's just not what you want to see as a Zerg player at all. Cruising on in. There's a lot of roaches here, though, and I just don't know. Really? You want to... I mean, I guess maybe kill a couple drones, but that spore is hitting you every time you come in. There's the pickup. Couple drones die, but really nothing major. Got another Warp Prism with Archons up on this north side, too. Dang. Warp Prism Archon stuff. Zest working on it hard, but Queen present, a lot of roaches present. That one gets rebuffed. Dropping into the third base and killing a creep tumor seems fine. Killing Overlords, also pretty good. Supply blocking. Yes, does supply block Elazer there. Cleo Reconstitution finishing up here. A lot of roaches in production for the Zerg player. And just more gateways. Charge coming in here too for Zest. And just more Immortals. He recognizes if you're going Roach, the answer is going to be Immortal. There's really no other thing to do here. Ravagers are problematic, but they're more expensive and they're harder to make en masse. So Immortals should be just fine. Thank you, especially, again, with those Zealots and those Charge Lots buffering things up. Warp Prism sneaking on into the main base again. Did he abandon this location? You know what helps with this is an Overlord placed right about there. You can see it coming on some extent. I mean, sure. You're not going to do a whole lot, but killing Overlords is actually pretty great at slowing down a Zerg army. When they're supply blocked, they can't make the drones they want to make. They can't make the attacking units they want to make. It's horribly, horribly problematic. Is that a hatchery? That's a frozen old school hatchery down there. Perma-frozen. Oh, all 4 Archons decide to come in here and try to get something done. Swarm Host out from Elazer. 5 Swarm Host in production. Okay, now this I'm interested in. This I'm feeling pretty good about. Alright, so how are the Swarm Hosts going to work here? What's your answer going to be? I mean, Archon's pretty good. Anything splash damage is pretty good. Force Field's amazing, actually, against Swarm Host. If you can get him down in front of the Swarm Host, that is. If the Swarm Hosts fly over your Force Fields, you're in a bad place. Once again, main base under attack by some Archons. Here they come. You can't see them yet, but they're almost here. Ta-da! Archons! And did the Spore Crawler move? What is happening? Why did the Spore Crawler move? Roach is running into the third base. They instantly snipe down a Stalker. They're going after these Zealots, but they have charge. And there's DTs here too. So 5 probes go down and 5 drones go down. 53 to 53. It's an even worker count right now. Look at this force fielding. Actually, it wasn't even necessary. It wasn't the best force fielding either. That was just a crushing, man. That was a shellacking of those roaches. Army supply 102 to 55. Elazer has double the army supply right now. A lot of that, in fairness, is in Swarm Host, and their army supply numbers are kind of weird that way. Man, these Archons just refuse to die. 13 kills and 9 kills coming on up. Locust dropping on top of this Protoss army. Did they kill anything? What is happening? Did they kill anything at all? I don't believe they did, Falcon. Thanks, audience member. The deep voice. That was insane. How did he do that? I guess there just weren't enough Locusts. And this Archon does some work too against them. This Warp Prism, though, there's really nothing here that can shoot up, as it turns out. Oh, Crossobiling his own stuff a little bit. Locust flying in. Okay, Locust combined with Roach Ravager. How about this? DT is getting some shots off. Overseer is detecting this. More Locusts on top of this army. And once again, did any Protoss units die there? I don't see any dead Protoss units there. I guess Zealots might have died. Once again, it's 104 to 55 army supply, but these Swarm Hosts are utterly useless right now, which means we're effectively even in army supply if Zest doesn't have a lead at the moment. See, this is what you got to do. If you're a Protoss player, you're dealing with Swarm Hosts, you got to withstand the attack and then counter. Because the Swarm Hosts are utterly ineffective for 41 whole seconds. It is just pretend it's one of those games, one of those matches in the campaign for StarCraft 2 where there's on timers and you can attack for certain amounts of time and you got to hide for other amounts of time. That's what this is. See? And now 41 seconds have passed and then Zest pulls back. So yeah, you're saying, but Falcon, it's still 110 to 57 army supply. Sure, but Swarm Host supply is weird. I'm just going to keep saying that. It's just odd. Is what it is. And still no 4th base from Elazer. He's still in this 3 base right now. He really should be expanding, but he doesn't feel like he can. 3 Immortals versus about 9 Roaches? No. Not going to work. Corrosive Bile, pretty decent attempt there. But man, this Warp Prism Immortal Micro is disgusting right now. How... That's a lot of dead Locust again. And once again, I just don't see the dead Archons or anything. Maybe he's sacrificing... I don't know. Maybe he's sacrificing the Zealots here, but 4th base is trying to be taken down. 10 kills and 9 kills on those Immortals. They're going to get a hatch, too. The response time is pretty good. Oh, you know what? It's enough to kind of save it. Unless you run away. Okay, did save it. Did end up saving it here. Oh, the Swarm Host got caught out in the open. Oh, no. They do manage to pop a ton of Locusts, though. What are they focusing down? The Sentries, I guess. And that is a couple deaths of Zealots I heard in there. Definitely some of those went down. Some of the Sentries died here, too. Man, Zest is doing Warp Prism Micro while defending back home. Elazer's doing the same thing, to be fair. But, oh, did they get the Warp Prism? The Queens got the Warp Prism. Okay, so I just talked up how Zest... Hang on, I gotta see that. I just talked up how Zest is doing so well controlling that Warp Prism. Is 20 seconds not far enough? What the heck? Was it too early? Where the fudge monkeys did that thing go? I feel like I was hallucinating. Another Swarm Host dies. Maybe, did I go forward? I don't know what's happening. I don't understand at all. But Zest is up to an 83 army supply right now. I mean, Zest just retreating. No big deal. Really. I mean, an Immortal. Nope, saved it. Saved the Immortal. Is this the thing? No, these are DTs. Alright, fine. So here's the engagement. The Swarm Hosts are coming in and just getting pretty much Archoned down there. Corrosive Bile's decent hits. Attacking up this ramp. DTs are just destroying the 4th base of Elazer. Whatever there was of it, it is now completely gone. Corrosive Bile's getting dodged pretty well there. Archons aren't that great at dodging, as it turns out. And the 4th base is saved again for the 2nd time in this game, mind you. And here we go. Zest pushing. He recognizes he can push. He needs to push. He's pushing. Pushing Elazer back. You can't let Elazer sit up and camp right here for the rest of the game. That will go really poorly for you. Alright, so he gets the 4th and then recalls out. This Immortal, sorry, buddy. That is a bad place to be for you, but gets the 4th base. So we're still 3 base to... Oh, check it out. A 4th base is done for Zest. Yeah. I mean, economically, it's 68 to 57 workers, but Elazer just doesn't have... He's oversaturated on a couple of his bases here. He's long-distance mining from his 4th, which is never good. Chasing this DT, who has 4 kills. Does he live? This Overseer is not fast enough to catch him. Oh, and the Swarm Host kind of getting caught out of position there again. Roach is trying to get in the front door. Nice warping, actually, of a DT. Oh, that's such a brilliant warping. That Roach Massacre. Goodbye. All of the Roaches in that particular location. We hate all of you very much. That Archon has 0 kills. He's new to the party. 4th base getting replanted by Elazer. A DT wanders in. An Archon wanders in. And Immortals wander in. It's just not going well here for Elazer. Locusts are popping. They're going to take down this 4th base of Zest, I think. There's really not much to say that. This DT is single-handedly trying to take down the 4th hatchery of Elazer. But look at them going out. They're going after probes instead of going after the Nexus, surprisingly enough. But here comes the push from Zest. This is the big scary thing right now. That's a lot of Immortal. That's a lot of Archon. The Hydra's trying to do stuff. It's a pretty good composition, but it's just not enough Hydra. It's tiny pieces of Hydra here. Most of the supply is tied up in these Swarm Hosts, and there's your good game. Zest does take the 2-0 in this sneaky twofer. Did he lose the 4th? He lost the 4th again. This DT killed it? No. Look at this little DT that could. It pops, and he kills it. That's amazing stuff right there. I mean, these Zealots going after the Swarm Host, I mean, sure, lost that 4th base, but still 3 base to 3 base. There's still Immortals on your front door. 22 kills, 8 kills, 11 kills, 12 kills, 9 kills, 17 kills. Archon with 9 kills there, too. I mean, I like the Roach Hydra stuff. I really do, but the Zealots are a problem for that, and there just aren't enough. There aren't enough actual attacking units. These Swarm Hosts are on cooldown. They can't help with anything, and Zest can just run away, even if they're trying. So, is amazing. Is amazing, amazing stuff from both of these players. Really, really enjoyed it. Great job by Zest with a 2-0 against Elazer. And just goes to show, man, even if Zerg happens to be, you know, partly somewhat favored in this matchup in the current meta, Zest said, no, I don't care. I'm going to harass this guy. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill his hatcheries. Killed the 3rd base a couple times. Killed the 4th base a couple times. Lost his 4th, but in the grand scheme of things, he was definitely way up. So great job by him. And that's going to be it from me. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.